A silver fork slips from her hand and hits the marble floor. Everyone turns. Table 12, 7:42 p.m. "Ma'am, is everything all right?" the waiter asks quietly. Victoria Hale doesn't answer. She's staring, not at the food, not at the room, at him. A man in worn scrubs sits across from two children, splitting one plate into three equal parts. Carefully, precisely, like it matters more than anything. The younger girl pushes her piece back. "You eat it, Dad." He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. "I'm not hungry." Victoria's fingers tighten against the table. Because she's seen that smile before. Not here, not in this city, not in this life. Her breathing slows, then stops, because she finally understands why. And what he doesn't know yet is that this dinner is about to change everything. Daniel Reeves works nights, because nights don't ask questions. The ER at St. Ardent Medical Center runs on chaos, but Daniel moves through it like silence. Measured, controlled, focused. That's what makes him good. That's what keeps him invisible. Microhook. Until the day invisibility stops protecting you. At home, things are different. His daughter Lily doesn't care about calm voices or controlled hands. She cares about breathing, or rather, the moments when she can't. 8 years old, chronic cardiac condition, needs surgery. Soon. Very soon. The problem isn't the procedure. It's the cost. Daniel has insurance, but not enough. Never enough. And the hospital knows it. Mark Hensley makes sure of that. Administrator, polished. Smiles too easily. Speaks like everything is already decided. "You're approved for evaluation," he told Daniel last week. "But surgery requires financial clearance." Daniel stood there in his uniform. Same place, he saves lives. Same building, different rules. Microhook, and this time he's not the one holding the power. "I work here," Daniel said quietly. Hensley nodded like it didn't matter. "Exactly. So you understand how this works. Payment plans, delays, paperwork loops. Every option designed to stall. Because time, for Lily, isn't neutral. It's running out. Daniel takes extra shifts. Sells what he can. Cuts everything that isn't survival. Dinner becomes smaller, then simpler, then occasional, which is why tonight matters. Because tonight he said yes to his kids, to one proper meal, one normal moment, even if it costs more than he can afford. Microhook. Because sometimes pretending everything is okay is the only gift you can give your children. He doesn't notice Victoria watching him. Doesn't see the way her expression shifts. From curiosity to recognition to something far more dangerous. Because Daniel thinks his biggest problem is money. He has no idea. Someone just walked into his life who can rewrite everything. The next morning smells like disinfectant and tension. Daniel stands at the administrative desk, uniform pressed, eyes tired. Lily sits beside him, swinging her feet slowly, trying to look brave. Microhook. She shouldn't have to be brave today. Mark Hensley doesn't even look up at first, just flips through a file. Daniel's file, Lily's file, numbers, codes, costs. Finally he sighs. "Mr. Reeves, we've reviewed your case again." Daniel waits, because waiting is all he's been allowed to do, and the answer hasn't changed. Lily looks at him. Daniel kneels slightly. "It's okay," he whispers. "It's not." Hensley continues. "Without financial clearance, the surgery cannot be scheduled." There it is. Clinical, clean, final. Daniel nods slowly. "I can pay part now, the rest." Hensley cuts him off. This isn't a negotiation. The words land harder than they should, because they're not just policy, they're dismissal. Microhook. And it's happening in front of his daughter. People are watching now. Nurses, staff, strangers. Daniel feels it. Every pair of eyes, every silent judgment. "You work here," Hensley adds, almost casually. "You know we can't make exceptions." Daniel's jaw tightens. "Except you do," he says quietly. That gets attention. Hensley smiles. Thin, controlled. "Be careful, Daniel. Not Mr. Reeves anymore, just Daniel. Reduced. Accusations don't help your situation." Lily grabs his sleeve. "Dad, let's go." Her voice is small. Too small. Microhook. That's when something inside him almost breaks. Because this isn't about pride anymore. It's about her. He exhales slowly. "Please," he says. One word. Heavy. Real. Hensley closes the file. "I'm sorry," he isn't. Security ship's slightly nearby, not moving. Just ready. Message received. Conversation over. Daniel stands, takes Lily's hand, walks away, every step heavier than the last, because for the first time he doesn't have a solution. Microhook. And somewhere in the building, someone just watched all of it. Victoria Hale lowers the tablet in her hand. She's seen the footage, heard every word, watched the way he stood there. Not angry, not loud, just desperate. Her expression changes. Not shock this time, not curiosity. Something sharper, something decisive, because now she's sure it is him. And Mark Hensley just made the biggest mistake of his career. Daniel doesn't go home, not right away. He walks past the exit, past the elevators, back into the ER, because stopping would mean thinking, and thinking would mean accepting what just happened. Microhook. So instead, he works. Another patient, another chart, another crisis that isn't his. Because other people's emergencies are easier than your own. Hours pass, but the problem doesn't. It sits there, waiting. Lily's condition doesn't pause. It doesn't care about policy or paperwork, and Daniel knows that, which is why, by the end of his shift, he makes a decision, one he never wanted to make. Microhook. He stops asking politely. First, he files an internal request. Formal. Document. Everything by the book. He writes it carefully. Clear. Professional. Precise. Attaches Lily's reports, doctor recommendations, urgency notes, submits it to administration. He knows where it will go. Back to Hensley. But now there's a record. Something traceable. Something that can't be ignored. Or erased. At least, not easily. Second, he speaks to a senior physician, Dr. Amir Khan, someone who still remembers why he became a doctor. Daniel doesn't ask for favors. He presents facts, clinical need, time sensitivity, risk factors. Dr. Khan listens, really listens, then nods. "I'll support your case," he says quietly. Microhook, and for the first time, Daniel isn't completely alone. But Hensley responds faster than expected. Too fast. The next morning, Daniel receives an email. Subject: Internal Conduct Reminder. Short, sharp, cold. Staff are reminded not to bypass administrative procedures or exert pressure on decision-making processes. No name mentioned, but it doesn't need one. Message received. Back off. Or else. Daniel stares at the screen, then closes it. Because fear is no longer the strongest thing he feels. Microhook. Something else is growing now. Something heavier. Something dangerous. Resolve. And somewhere else in the building, Victoria Hale is already moving. Victoria doesn't intervene immediately. She observes. Because power isn't just about acting. It's about timing. Microhook and timing is everything. She requests internal access logs. Quietly. No announcement. No attention. Just a simple review. Medication logs. Patient records. Administrative overrides. At first glance, everything looks normal, clean, structured, controlled, exactly how Hensley likes it. But Victoria isn't looking for obvious mistakes. She's looking for patterns, and patterns always leave fingerprints. Microhook. That's when she sees it. A discrepancy. Small, easy to miss, but consistent. Cases similar to Lily's. Delayed, deferred, denied, all routed through the same approval chain, all signed off by Hensley. But that's not the problem. The problem is what happens after. Some of those cases get approved later. Quietly, without explanation. Different financial categories. Different billing codes. Victoria leans back, because now this isn't about one child. This is a system, and systems don't build themselves. Microhook, someone is controlling outcomes. She digs deeper. Requests CCTV timestamps from admin offices, cross-references with approval logs. Timestamps match, but the decisions don't. Files updated after hours. Entries modified, accessed twice, sometimes 3 times. Same login, same user. Mark Hensley. Victoria's expression hardens, because this isn't policy anymore. It's manipulation. And now she knows something else. Daniel's case was never just denied. It was filtered, controlled, delayed on purpose. Microhook, and that changes everything. She picks up her phone, pauses, because this next step will set everything in motion. Then she dials. "Carla," she says, voice calm, precise. "I need risk management involved." There's silence on the other end. Then, what level? Victoria looks back at the screen, at the logs, at the timestamps, at the name repeating over and over. Height priority. She hangs up, because now this isn't personal, it's procedural, and procedural is unstoppable. Carla Mendez doesn't waste time. Risk management moves differently, quietly, efficiently, legally. Microhook, and when they move, people fall. Daniel is called in. Not by Hensley, by risk management. That alone changes the air. The room is smaller, cleaner. No audience, just Carla, a tablet, and questions. "Mr. Marley." "Reeves," she begins, "we're reviewing a series of administrative decisions." Daniel nods slowly, unsure, careful. "We'd like you to walk us through your interactions with administration." He hesitates, because speaking up has consequences. He's already felt them. Microhook, but staying silent has consequences too. So he speaks. Clear, measured, every detail, every meeting, every delay, every word Hensley used. Carla listens, doesn't interrupt, doesn't react, just records. Because this isn't about emotion, it's about evidence. Then she turns the tablet, slides it toward him. "Do you recognize this?" Daniel looks. Access log. His daughter's file. Multiple entries. Same timestamp range. Different edits. His brow furrows. "I didn't authorize any changes." Carla nods. "We know." Microhook, and just like that, the truth starts surfacing. Next, CCTV stills. Admin office. Late evening. Hensley at his desk. Alone. Working, but not working. Altering. Adjusting. Rewriting outcomes. Daniel exhales slowly, because now it's real. Not suspicion, not frustration. Proof. Carla continues. "We also have a witness statement. Charge nurse, signed, documented, observed irregular approvals, noted inconsistencies, reported concerns, ignored, until now, microhook, 5 pieces of evidence, 1 pattern, 1 name. Carla leans forward slightly. This will proceed to board review. Daniel's heart tightens. Because board review means exposure, fallout, change. But your daughter's case, Carla adds, will be reassessed immediately. Daniel looks up. For the first time, hope breaks through. Small, fragile, but real. And somewhere else, Mark Hensley receives a message. Subject, immediate review required. He opens it, reads the first line, and his expression finally cracks, because the system he controlled is now closing in on him. Daniel sits beside Lily in a quiet hospital room. No machines beeping loudly. No chaos. Just stillness. The kind that makes everything feel heavier. Lily swings her legs slightly. "Dad, are we staying here today?" Daniel hesitates, because for the first time in weeks, he doesn't know the answer. Microhook, and kids always know when you're unsure. He forces a small smile. "I think so." Not a lie. Not the full truth either. Just enough. Lily nods, then leans her head against his arm. "You always fix things." The words land softly, but they hit harder than anything Hensley said, because Daniel doesn't feel like someone who fixes things right now. He feels like someone who failed. Microhook. Until the door opens. Carla Mendez steps in. Calm, direct, different energy. "Mr. Reeves," she says. Daniel stands immediately. Instinct, respect, fear, hope, all mixed together. "We've escalated your case," she continues. "No delays, no additional clearance required." Daniel blinks, trying to process. Lily looks between them. "What does that mean?" she asks. Carla softens slightly. "It means you're getting the care you need." Lily smiles. Simple, pure, immediate. Daniel doesn't, not yet, because he knows something else is happening behind this. Something bigger. Microhook, and he's right. Carla pauses, then adds one more line. "The board is reviewing administrative conduct." Now it clicks. Not just approval. Accountability. Daniel exhales slowly. Because this isn't luck. This is something else. Something that was set in motion. And he still doesn't know by who. The boardroom is silent, not tense. Controlled. The kind of silence where outcomes are decided. Mark Hensley sits at one end. No smile now. No polish. Just pressure. Microhook, because this isn't his environment anymore. Carla Mendez presents first. Clean. Structured. Undeniable. Access logs. Time-stamped edits. CCTV stills. Witness statements. Policy violations. Each piece placed carefully. Like bricks. Building something impossible to ignore. Hensley tries. Administrative discretion is not data manipulation. Carla cuts in. Calm, sharp, final, microhook, and just like that, his defense collapses. Then the final document appears. Risk Management Directive. Signed. Approved. Immediate corrective action required. Hensley's name is on every flagged case, including Daniel's. The room shifts, because now this isn't internal, it's official. Consequences are no longer optional. Then the doors open, and she walks in. Victoria Hale. The room stands instantly. Authority without introduction. Power without effort. Hensley freezes, because now he understands. Too late. Microhook. This was never just a review. Victoria takes her seat, looks at the screen, then at him. "You denied medically necessary care," she says, voice calm, but absolute. Hensley swallows. "It followed It followed your system, she interrupts. Silence. Because everyone knows what that means now. Victoria leans slightly forward. And your system is over. No anger. No raised voice. Just finality. Microhook. That's the moment everything ends. Effective immediately, she continues. You are suspended, pending formal termination review. No debate, no delay, just consequence. Hensley doesn't argue, because there's nothing left to argue. The evidence already spoke. Victoria stands. But before she leaves, she adds one more thing. Approve all previously delayed critical cases. She pauses, starting with Lily Reeves. And just like that, the decision is no longer a question. It's done. The hospital feels different now, not quieter, but lighter, like something heavy has been removed. Daniel sits beside Lily's bed. This time, there are machines, monitors, staff moving carefully. Because today is surgery day. Microhook, and this time, no one is stopping it. He holds her hand. You ready? He asks softly. Lily nods. Are you? Daniel smiles. For real this time? I think so. Hours pass. Long. Slow. Every second stretched. Because waiting feels different when you finally have hope. Microhook. And hope is terrifying. Then the doors open. Doctor steps out. Removes mask. Small smile. It went well. 3 words. But they carry everything. Daniel exhales. For what feels like the first time in weeks. Maybe months. Maybe longer. Later, Victoria stands at a distance. Watching. Not approaching. Not interrupting. Because this moment isn't hers. It's theirs. Daniel looks up. Their eyes meet briefly. Recognition passes between them. Not fully spoken, not fully understood, but real. Microhook, because some stories don't need words. Victoria nods once, then turns, walks away, quietly, like she was never there. But Daniel knows something changed. Not just for him, for others too, because systems don't fix themselves. People do. And sometimes, the smallest moment, a father splitting food at a table, can trigger something much bigger, something unstoppable, something that rewrites everything.